Hi, my name is Alison Tucker. This is my persuasive speech on conversion therapy. Um, I don't know if you remember, but I have accommodations, so that's why I'll be sitting down today. But I really hope you enjoy my speech nonetheless. Um, Conversion therapy is an abusive and fraudulent practice that preys on some of our most vulnerable, LGBTQ plus minors. Conversion therapy is most commonly practiced within religious communities and organizations. However, its roots within religion cannot permit this harmful practice to continue. This is why legislators and citizens across the nation are searching for ethical and legal solutions to reduce and ban conversion therapy. So you may be asking yourself, what is a more legal definition, a more descriptive definition of conversion therapy? So, in layman's terms, conversion therapy is a form of pseudoscientific therapy predicated on forcibly altering an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. Although conversion therapy encompasses a spectrum of practices, generally it's remained unchanged. Crucial to conversion therapy, though, is viewing same-sex attraction and transgenderism as an addiction, developmental disorder, and most commonly, a spiritual issue. This belief that LGBTQ plus individuals are ill allows practitioners and families to excuse the abusive practices their children are subjected to. These methods include prayer, talk therapy, exorcisms, and aversion therapy. Aversion therapy and corporal punishment include induced nausea, vomiting, bondage, and electrical shocks if participants become aroused by same-sex activities or aren't progressing as practitioners and families wish. Despite these extensive and intense practices, a comprehensive review of conversion therapy by the United Kingdom government found that the largest studies report little to no change in sexual orientation. In addition to this, researchers at the American Journal of Psychiatry, Dr. Caitlin Murphy of the Family Acceptance Project, and more have found and explicitly defined the dangers of conversion therapy. These dangers are most notably seen in Dr. Murphy's research, in which she found lesbian, gay, and bisexual teens who reported intense rejection from family and community were 8.4 times more likely to have attempted suicide and 5.9 times more likely to have severe depression when compared to counterparts who were accepted by their families and community. Despite the overwhelming consensus among the scientific community, only 23 states have placed limitations upon the practice of conversion therapy. These limitations range from minimal to extensive and extremely promising. To properly understand the ethically legal laws and rulings regulating conversion therapy, we must first understand the arguments of supporters and opponents. The supporters of conversion therapy often cite the First Amendment, which prohibits Congress from creating laws that infringe on free exercise of religion, speech, public assembly, and more. Supporters claim modern conversion therapy is speech-based, therefore any limitations would infringe on their free speech. However, opponents argue that the limitations are regulation of medical practice, which states regularly exhibit through state licensure boards. This argument took place in the Ninth Circuit Court, in which the court ruled that although doctor-patient communication about medical treatment receives substantial First Amendment protections, it is still subject to regulation. Another common argument used by supporters is claiming any limitations infringe on their religious freedom. However, numerous court cases have rejected this claim. For example, in Brown v. City of Pittsburgh, it's important to note, though, that this case was not about conversion therapy, but rather a ban on harassment of abortion centers. Despite this, the judge's findings are still significant precedent for those attempting to regulate conversion therapy. Judges Skirsia, Ambrose, and Smith found that a neutral and widely applicable law will withstand a free exercise challenge when it's rationally related to a legitimate governmental objective, regardless if the law has the incidental effect of burdening a particular religious group. A key tenet of ethical government is protecting the population. Therefore, protecting vulnerable minors from the physical and psychological trauma of conversion therapy is clearly a necessary governmental objective. Additionally, in this case specifically, religious infringement is non-existent, as all limitations on conversion therapy currently only prohibit licensed medical professionals from conducting conversion therapy on minors. This exclusion of religious officials from prohibition leaves a major population legally exposed and unsafe. Fortunately, one New Jersey court case has successfully found another means of limiting conversion therapy, including religious practitioners and organizations. This case is known as Ferguson, aka Southern Poverty Law Center, versus Jonah, aka Jews Offering New Alternatives to Homosexuality. For simplicity, I will be referring to them as Ferguson and Jonah. Representing former participants of Jonah's conversion therapy, the Southern Poverty Law Center sued on the basis that Jonah violated New Jersey's Consumer Fraud Law number 135. This law prohibits any unconscionable commercial practice, deception, fraud, etc. in connection with the sale or advertisement. Due to the overwhelming scientific evidence establishing conversion therapy is ineffective, within hours, the jury returned with a verdict. The jury found that Jonah violated New Jersey's Consumer Fraud Law number 135 in claiming the ability to change sexual orientation. In conclusion, conversion therapy is an abusive and archaic institution predicated on shame and hate. This institution has irreparably damaged at least 700,000 people as of 2019, and will continue to, if not explicitly banned for minors. While there have been promising laws and court cases, there is still extensive reform that will be required before conversion therapy's elimination. This ranges from creating more stringent consumer fraud protections and regulations, to empowering victims, and to nationwide limitations. Finally, it is crucial as a nation that we realize solving seemingly niche issues benefits all Americans directly and indirectly.